Rolling.
कट। हेलो मैरीटाइम वर्ल्ड। ये बार बार कंफ्यूज होता रहेगा। हेलो मैरीटाइम वर्ल्ड। Welcome to Shipping with Shailendra at Shipsmith. We at Shipsmith always keep talking about what are the challenges in the maritime world, how we are going to tackle it, what are the new technologies coming in, and what are the strategies behind it. So we thought, why not use the same discussion and engage the maritime community to tell them and learn from them as well. So that is why we've crafted this series called Shipping with Shailendra. Today in this series, we'll talk to our head of purchase, Mr. Sanjeev Day, who has been working in this industry for more than 20 years. So let's welcome Mr. Sanjeev.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. So welcome Sanjeev.
Thank you.
To our series Shipping with Shailendra. Today we'll have a general chit chat about what are the challenges we are facing, how we do our strategies, and what are the new upcoming challenges.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we talk about shipping industries and spare parts, primarily I understand there are many various kinds of spare parts, OEM, Recondition, and all that. Can you talk a little bit about that so that the overall maritime community understands about it?
Yeah, talking about actually maritime world, actually there are many vessels built of China, built of Korea, built of Japan, and they are using not only OEM spare, they are using genuine spare, licensee from China, that is actually not costlier, that is cheapest for the owner. So that is depend on the owner how they are actually taking the spare from OEM or from the licensee. So that option is actually depends on them only.
So does it depend on the life of the vessel as well, like how old the vessel is?
Yeah, so actually that's actually depends on the decision from the owner, because if the vessel is actually 15 or 20 years actually old, then the owner actually prefer to take the spare from the licensee, which is actually costly effective for the owner, right? But for the new vessels actually owners actually having, they are prefer for the OEM spares, that actually cost is actually something higher, but the life of that actually equipment and the vessel will be much longer than the licensed spare.
So if I have to talk a little about strategy,
Yeah.
strategy in terms of negotiating the vendor landscape, what is your preferred strategy? Do you go for multi-party vendors for the same spare, or have just one vendor for one spare? Just a general, what is the strategy about that?
No, actually that is depend on the what the actually owner or management company actually asked for that spare. We have the source for everywhere, that is from OEM as well as the licensee and the trading house also, and that is globally, that is from China, that is Korea, Japan, and you can go for Europe also. Okay, so that depends on the owner what they actually are searching.
So Sanjeev, as I understand, of course, I have the maritime experience, but our viewers might not be having. Sourcing from one place is good, but then you have to get it delivered to another place.
Yeah.
And that is where the whole lead time and the logistics time come in.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that and how the strategy plays.
Understand. Actually, the spare parts connection on board is actually challenging, because first actually the lead time of the spare, right? So some spare actually have 30 days lead time, 60 days lead time, and 90 days also lead time from the maker, right? And then the transit time from the extra place to the vessel, that is actually in port actually.
So, when you say X stock, just for the viewers, what do you mean by that?
X stocks means that some of OEM actually having their factory at Netherlands, or some of them are at Japan. So when they are quoting, they will be quote from X stock Japan or X stock that Netherlands.
Depending on which is the nearby.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So the connection from the maker factory to the port, particular port where the actually spare required, required, that is actually challenging because the transit time, the air freight connection, and the clearance. So that is actually taking around 15 to 20 days normally. So what actually Shipsmith actually will do and doing actually, we are making the stock point for every country. So the lead time and the transit time, that will be shorter, and that will be helpful for the owner also. Correct. So that we are actually doing, sir, now.
So let's talk a little bit about recondition.
Okay.
So as I understand, when we are taking the reconditioned spare part, we try to give some kind of video proof or photo proof that this thing is operational, running, and in a smooth condition, right?
Correct.
Does it help in building the trust? Does it help? How does it help?
Yeah, actually, regarding that reconditioned spare, actually, what actually owners are actually asking or searching for the old vessels or any critical spares, what actually some lead time is bigger. So they need in that time the reconditioned spare, which is available in Alang market or the building.
Just to add,
Yeah.
Alang is the ship breaking yard.
Yeah, breaking
where
yard.
all the old ships are broken down and the parts are taken.
Parts are actually
Yeah,
taken.
please continue.
So that spare actually easily actually we will get, and for the connection that spare on board. So before we actually delivered, we are taking the technical data sheet and the video of that equipment. So and also we are giving the 6 to 8 month guarantee warranty also. So our service team actually installed that spare parts if the owner actually agreed. So after installing, they will show the equipment operational, and after that we are giving 6 to 8 months guarantee and warranty also.
So, if I have to just to add to this, let's say if we have a good service team which has a good background in shipbreaking yard and have a good connect over there, they are able to source the spare parts better as compared to other teams.
Correct.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So this is for the normal course of operation when you need some spare parts.
Correct.
But when we are going for dry docks, it's a huge operation.
Yes.
Months of planning in advance, and not only stores, spares and stores both we supply there, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about strategy for dry dock supply.
Actually, for dry dock, actually that is not the 1 month or 2 month planning. That's required actually minimum 6 months planning, because you know that some crane spares, big crane spares, that is built up on Japan, China, and they need 180 days lead time also. So the planning for the dry docking may be 6 to 8 months before or early, because some of spare lead time to be actually committed and to be connected at dry dock if you required. Otherwise, other spare, that is okay. But in dry dock, we are giving the services as well as spare parts at every dry dock. That is in China, that is in Vietnam, that is in Bahrain. Every port, actually, every dry dock port, we are actually giving services as well as spare part supply, as well as stores, and as per sample supplies also.
So you are doing this because it makes sense as a business strategy.
Correct.
So that the person fleet manager doesn't need to go to two different places.
Yes.
You have to sum it up, right?
Yeah.
More from a business strategy and more from a convenience point of view for fleet managers.
Yes.
Like a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, as I understand, again, since I'm engaging the whole community, most of the other industries have a after-sales services.
Correct.
What kind of after-sales services is existing in our market currently, and what could be done? Not necessarily being done, what could be done? To better that after-sales experience, because it's a long-term industry, right?
Yeah, but actually in marine, actually it is difficult to give the after-sales services. Here actually we can provide the warranty or guarantee period. Correct. So before supplying the spare parts, we will give you the data sheet or video or technical data, operational, that equipment or that spare parts. But after-sales services in marine actually not actually happen actually. So we are giving the warranty, guarantee, and return back policy also. If that is not suitable or that is not operational on board, maybe some due to some voltage or some current issues, maybe not actually operational on board. In that time, we will take back also that spare.
So what I'm saying is maybe not direct after sales services, but the practice is to offer guarantee and warranty.
Yes.
That is indirectly being offered, right?
Yeah.
And is there any scope of as a strategy, business strategy I'm talking about, because given the volume of spares, any company, of our size or any size willing to supply, they might offer something like this, right?
Yeah.
As a point of strategy and differentiation.
Correct.
Okay. Makes sense. So, Sanjeev, it was nice talking to you. We learned with the maritime community what we do about after sales services, OEM parts, reconditioning, and also for dry dock spares and supplies.
Correct.
What we look forward in learning again is how do we detail out spare parts for various categories.
Correct.
So let's say electrical, hydraulic, mechanical, navigation.
Correct.
And we will continue talking about this. Anyways, Sanjeev, thank you for having a great chat.
Yeah.
I believe maritime community today has learned about how do we deal with spare parts, what are the normal ways of supplying, right?
Yeah.
And also dry dock. Hopefully in future we'll have more discussions about various categories of supply, whether it's electrical, hydraulic, mechanical, and various kinds. Fair enough?
Yeah.
So maritime community, today we learned a lot about after sales services, spare part and supplies, dry dock, and various strategies related to it. Hopefully in the future, in the coming series, we will learn about spare parts related to each category, whether it's electrical, hydraulic, mechanical, navigation, and so on. Meanwhile, do like us, share us, and follow us for interesting insights and conversation. This is Shailendra here, signing off, Shipping with Shailendra. Thank you.